that, because how to get strangers to want to buy your stuff versus get strangers to want to buy your stuff still outperformed 70-30. Really cool, right? And so let me show you how you do this. All right, so I just show you how I did it. So this is how you can do it depending on your audience size. You can run ads. Straight up, you just run ads, asking people. And the nice thing is it doesn't cost much money to run an ad. To get a large enough sample size, you probably spend $50, and you can get the sample size you need to run an ad on this. Number two is you can just run a poll. Like that was a poll to my audience. I have a big enough audience that I can run that poll and immediately get feedback. And you can do it also on every platform. So if you're like, okay, well, my Instagram's not big enough, it's like, that's fine. Just run it on your Instagram, your Twitter, your the Facebook, like run it on all the platforms you're on, and then you can add them all up on your own side. If you still don't have that, you can also make a post and ask people to comment just one or two, right? That'll get you more engagement. You can do it again across platforms. And if you still don't have enough, then just DM people who follow you, who are friends with you, or even in your phone, and say, hey, what do you think, A or B? And most people, if you're asking in earnest, will give you a response. And you'll be able to get enough of a sample size. You probably spend $50, and you can get the sample size you need to run an ad on this. Number two is you can just run a poll. Like that was a poll to my audience. I have a big enough audience that I can run that poll and immediately get feedback. And you can do it also on every platform. So if you're like, okay, well, my Instagram's not big enough, it's like, that's fine. Just run it on your Instagram, your Twitter, your the Facebook, like run it on all the platforms you're on, and then you can add them all up on your own side. If you still don't have that, you can also make a post and ask people to comment just one or two, right? That'll get you more engagement. You can do it again across platforms. And if you still don't have enough, then just DM people who follow you, who are friends with you, or even in your phone, and say, hey, what do you think, A or B? And most people, if you're asking in earnest, will give you a response. And you'll be able to get enough of a directional cue that you can make a decision on it, all right? And
Lead magnet. What to name it? What would be the initial name? If I use the split test it, I need splits. Business inquiries. HR business inquiries. sales people perform well on calls. I need a name for the lead magnet offer. What can I call service? Give me a few good names. Yeah, we should have the different parts of the value equation. So name. GSYA plus dream outcome. Likelihood plus time plus effort and sacrifice. I like first bot free. First bot free. There we go. AI integration test drive. The AI Upstart service, Smart Start. The AI system pilot program done for you. So that becomes, try and put that in the name. Core offer. Install one of our core offer AI systems for free. Core AI system for free. See likelihood. Time within 1 week. 1 week is always good. I guess time. Yeah, 1 week, 1 week, 1 week. After cool, and then effort and sacrifice. Done for you. All you need is to show up to the call. Show up to call. Nice. Perceived likelihood of success. Testimonial. We just want to gain your trust. Let's have the ability to experiment. Risk. No, unlikely this is a good one. No, your trust. Nice. It's a core AI system for free. Nice. So, in terms of the actual name, GSY AI first bot free. So there we have free. That's the Y. First bot free. First bot free. Core AI system for free. Get one of our Core AI systems for free. Completely done for you within 1 week. Within a week. So don't use too much space here. Get your first bot free. First get started with AI for free. With AI for free. With GSY. YAI's first bot free. Offer. You can go into get one of our Core AI systems. We'll implement one of our Core AI systems chosen by you for free. Core AI systems. We'll implement one of our Core AI systems into Core AI systems. Chosen by you for free. It's 100% done for you. Done within a week. It's 100% done with you within 1 week. Week. 100% done for you within 1 week. All you need to do is show up to the call. Actually, no, I don't. Yeah. Done for you within 1 week. 100% done for you within 1 week. One week. All we need to do is show up to the call. Okay, no, we'll implement that. Show up to the auditing. Call where we'll audit your business needs. Needs. At this point, we would have worked with companies like Dad's Good Idea, Great Idea, Choreo Systems for free. Bot. Core AI Systems, chosen by you for free. It's 100% done for you within 1 week. All you need to do is show up to the call where we'll audit your business needs, testimonials. Whether it's five core offer. For 5 core offer examples, AI system chosen by you for free. Whether it's It's 100% done for you within 1 week. And then I can get rid of this. Into testimonials, into CTA. That is ugly. Oh dear. Good stuff. First bot free. GSY AI's first bot free offer. I like it. First bot free incites curiosity, but everyone knows what it is straight away. They don't just... They're gonna see GSY AI and think AI bot free first bot. What qualifies as first bot? And then we'll say literally our core offer. That's gonna be awesome.
And so here's the action step for right now, is that you want to test what to name it. And bonus points is that if when you ask them which one they like better, is that they ask for the thing that you're asking them about. And so if you say, hey, which of these two do you like better? And they say, I like B, when is this coming out? That's when you know you have a winner.
Okay, let me make a quick list of people I can ask. Number 1 is Jake LaRue. Let me ask that guy. Okay. Get started with AI for free with GSY. will implement of our core AI systems chosen by you into your business entirely for free. It's 100% done for you within 1 week. Whether it's AI agents to make there's AI agents to your costs and improve quality. Automations to save you time, or AI-powered marketing to get better results than the rest. It's 100% done for you within 1 week. Testimonials, CTA. So something like book a call with us today. And we'll go over how we can we'll have a chat about what we can have a chat about can do for your we'll have a chat about your business needs and what AI can do for you. Bang! Pretty cool. Location where they book a call. Show clicking on the right link animation. Clicking on the right link. Show animation of clicking on the right link on the page. Nice, I'm pinning that. That's just great ad copy. Bang. Okay, $100 million leads. Making a lead magnet. Nope.
So we're cruising, home stretch. Now we got to make it easy. All right, so it's like, okay, we got the what and the who, we know how to solve, we know how to deliver, we know how to name it. So people are now jumping into our boat. Okay, well then how are we going to get them to convert, right? So we want to make it fast and easy for them to consume this, all right? And so here's what's interesting about this, is that, this isn't interesting, but people do things that are easy for them. You're like, wow, this blew me away with value, all right? So what we want to do is we want to give them options. And so here's a fun factoid for you. We have an almost perfect split between ebook, audio, video, and physical copies of the book in terms of consumption. Almost perfect. Isn't that wild? So if I only did a physical copy of the book and that was my lead magnet, I would miss out on 3/4 of the traffic of people who would consume my thing. Or, arguably just as bad, is that maybe I would get half the people, but they wouldn't be consuming it in the way they want. So they would maybe opt in for it, but not consume it, which then I get leads, but I don't get conversions. This is why it's so key to understand both sides of it. And so we want to make it fast and easy for them to consume the value, and we do it at their convenience. And so depending on the delivery mechanism, we will do it differently. So if it's information, obviously you do it in this way. You want to make it consumable in different ways. And so if we're using software, we want to make it accessible on their phone, on their computer, in multiple formats for different devices, Android and Apple.
If you want you could benefit with the same for your business. You can get the same for your business. All you have to do it's very cool. Cool. I'll chat about your business needs and what I can do for you. So book a call with us today. So book a call today. That's worked out really well actually. All you have to do is book a call. So book a call with us today and we'll have a chat about your business. You can get the same for your business, and all you have to do is book a call. Cool. Link on my page. And within the next 48 hours, from my page, book it in within the next 48 hours. And we'll have a chat about your business needs and what AI can do for you. Bang, that's going to be really good. That's a good ad, that's a good ad, that's a good ad. Damn.
Right? So that's why we have it. The ebook is on Kindle, and it's also on Audible. And on Audible, I have it on Audible, and I also have it on my podcast. Right? So I have it in different places so that people consume it in different ways that they prefer. All right? It's ironic, but some people like only listen to podcasts and don't listen to Audible, and some people only listen to Audible and don't listen to podcasts. So whatever one you use, go there. Information, all consumption preferences, you want to make available. If you do service, and this is a key one, available in more times, in more ways, for more days. So if you say, hey, I'll fix your back for you, but I'm only available at 7 a.m. on Mondays to do this free thing, some people just aren't going to do that. And so you might be like, I'm giving them this back posture assessment for free. It's like, it doesn't matter, man. Like, they don't know you from anybody. And guess what? There's a guy down the street who will do it anytime it's convenient for them. And guess who gets the lead? That guy. All right, so be that guy. Make it convenient for them. Make it easy. All right, and then physical products. So this is where you want to make it simple to open and simple to use. All right, so you don't want to have a directions thing. They should immediately know how to do it. Part of that comes into design. So like, as an example, Apple boxes are so easy and so elegantly designed that people keep them. Think of how weird that is. Like, there's basically no other products that you buy and you keep the boxes, but people keep Apple boxes. Like, no one instructs you to keep a box for Apple, but people keep the boxes. Why? Because they're so elegant, they're so simple to use, right? And so that's what we want to think about when we're making our lead magnets. All right, so we made it easy. And finally, they got to eat it, and they got to like it. So we got to make it good. All right, and so here's the thing. Zero fluff. And hopefully as you're getting pummeled with the stuff that I'm doing, you're like, this is the shit you actually have to do. So I have action steps after every one of these things, so you can actually do this and make money in your business. All right, so zero fluff. Give away the secrets, sell the implementation. I give away all the stuff, and if somebody wants us to build their whole team out and help and scale the shit out of like all that stuff, like we will help do that, right? But the information, it's yours. Enjoy it, right? Have more than one valuable thing. Be better. All right, so this is a key point. People are like, what happens if I give away my valuable thing? Learn something else that's valuable. Like, fundamentally, the more value you provide to the marketplace, the more money you're gonna make. And so if you only have one thing that's valuable, then learn another thing and give that thing away for free and then sell the other thing, right? Like, fundamentally, you just need to restate that as a skill deficiency and then fix it, all right? The market judges you, and this is a key point. Market judges you on your free stuff, not your paid stuff. So here's why this is fascinating, at least for me. Remember that Ogilvy thing with the 80% of your dollars spent with the headline? It's the same idea here, is that 99.9% of the audience, of the people who see your stuff, are never gonna buy from you. And that's okay, all right? But they will have an opinion about you. And their opinion will impact the people who will ultimately or not buy as a result of it, which is why you need to make the free thing so fucking good that they're like, man, I mean, I've never bought anything from him, but everything I've gotten is awesome. And so your reputation continues to get stronger and stronger and stronger, and so much so that you can overpower any naysayers that come up in the community because you over-deliver by such a high degree, all right? And so and I like playing the alternative card. Well, let's say that you're like, you know what, Alex, I give away such good stuff, I'm gonna give away stuff, and I know, we both know that it's fluff. All right, let's just be real. We both know it's fluff, but you think it's not, it's fluff, all right? So you give away sucky fluff, all right, what happens? You actually discourage people who otherwise would have bought not to, and that's first order. The second order is that, and how many times have you gotten a text from someone? I mean, I get them all the time, like, hey, what do you think about so-and-so? Or hey, like, is this guy legit? Or blah, blah, blah. Well, if I consume sucky fluff and someone texts me, then I'm like, oh no, I consumed this free thing, it blew, it wasn't valuable. Now you might be thinking, well, I don't want to give away my valuable thing. It's like, well, the alternative is that everyone thinks you suck. So of course you give away the valuable thing, and then you should also have a very valuable paid thing. All of it has to be valuable. And that's why business is hard, because you have to provide value all the way through. Now, people judge the value they'll get from your paid thing based on the value of the free thing. So here's what's interesting. People make purchasing decisions based on a prediction of future value. Meaning, I take out my wallet and I spend money because I think the thing is going to provide. I don't know yet because I can't have known it until I try it, right? And so it's all based on a prediction. It's all based on probability, the likelihood that it's going to deliver what they want. So what is the easiest way to get someone to predict that they're going to get value from you later? Is to give them value before. So the best way to get someone to think they're going to get value after they buy from you is to give them value before they buy from you. It sounds crazy, but that's how it works. And it took me way too long to learn this. So make your free stuff exceptional, and make your paid stuff exceptional. So finally, you have this person. So we know who we're doing it, we know what we're solving, we know how to solve it, how to deliver it, how to name it, how to make it easy, how to make it good. Well, how do we make money? You have to create next steps. So crazy, but people forget the last fucking step of this. So don't be like that, all right? So CTA, all right? This is the call to action. So what to do? Clear, simple, direct language, all right? Do not be clever, be clear. If you're a company doing $1 to $10 million in profit, apply to acquisition.com. There's my CTA. So if that's you, go do that, all right? Now.
Here's my CTA clear. Yeah, it is. Go over it literally twice. You can get the same help for your business, and all you have to do is book a call, click the link in my page, and we'll literally show an animation. Book it in for within the next 48. Book it in for within. Book it in for within the next 48 hours, and we'll have a chat about your business needs and what AI can do for you.
Here's the reasons to do it now. We stopped taking companies for 5 months last year because we had so many. We recently opened back up. So do it before we turn off our valves again, because we have to put all the effort that we do into growing the companies we have. All right? And so that is a call to action. If you're that person and you have that, go apply. The reason to do it is that we stopped for 5 months, and if you want it now, then do it now, because we might not do it for a while again. All right? And so ideally, you want to weave in scarcity, which is limited quantity, urgency, which is time, as in I could have an unlimited amount of ebooks. But if I say I'm no longer offering this ebook after tomorrow, I have urgency, not scarcity. If I say I only made 10 of these hats, that's it. They're available forever, but the first 10 get them. There's no urgency, but there is scarcity. And ideally, you want to have both. But you can do either of those and still generate significantly more demand than you would otherwise by simply limiting some element of the offer that you're making or the call to action you have. And that's one of the strongest reasons to do it now. And so if you're like, well, I don't have a good reason. I like using this little frame that I call the fraternity party planner, which is you can have any reason to come up with something, all right? So like a fraternity party planner, they're like, Timmy got his wisdom teeth out, kegger, right? And so it doesn't matter what the reason is. It's more important that you have a reason, because any reason is more compelling than no reason at all. Boom. So now you know how to engage your leads by creating a lead magnet.
Yes, so we need like an offer. Right, let's have a look at the old list again.
Both. But you can do either of those and still generate significantly more demand than you would otherwise by simply limiting some element of the offer that you're making or the call to action you have. And that's one of the strongest reasons to do it now. And so if you're like, well, I don't have a good reason. I like using this little frame that I call the fraternity party planner, which is you can have any reason to come up with something, all right? So like a fraternity party planner, they're like, Timmy got his wisdom teeth out, kegger, right? And so it doesn't matter what the reason is. It's more important that you have a reason, because any reason is more compelling than no reason at all. Boom. So now you know how to engage.
Create next step. So we do have the CTA. We need to work on making it good. We can make it easy to consume. Yeah, I mean, we'll have all the upfront stuff. We're basically like contractors, glorified a bit, because we need to know their business needs, because we're not doing our entire service. So
Engage your leads by creating a lead magnet. Great leads want great lead magnets. If you want great leads, the great leads want great lead magnets. They want exceptional things. How am I going to get a business owner who's doing 10 million in profit a year to think this guy can add value to my business? I have to provide exceptional value in the three things that I provide. Otherwise, I'm not going to get that type of person. I'm going to get lots of people who don't know any different, who don't know any better, and just going 0 to 1. But that's not who I'm looking for. And so if you want to increase the quality of your prospects, increase the quality of your lead magnets. All right, so a great lead magnet, 1, engages ideal customers when they see it. They see it and they think, I want that. 2, it gets more people to engage than your core offer alone. So that's how you know this actually money-wise makes sense. Like, why don't I just offer the core offer to everybody? Well, if you offer the lead magnet first, more people ultimately buy. That means that for the same effort, you lower your cost to acquire a customer. That's the point of this. That's why we do this. All right? It's not because we just like working more. It's because we want to make more money. 3 is that it's valuable enough that people consume it. So not only do they engage with it, they're like, oh, I'm actually going to consume this thing and get value from it. And then 4, it makes the right people more likely to buy. And I want to really underline this. You don't want to make everybody more likely to buy. You want the right people to be more likely to buy. So if you find out somebody who's not qualified, doesn't like your lead magnet, or doesn't find value from it, that's okay, because they're not the ideal audience. And so part of that comes to targeting, and that's a discussion for later in the book. But for now, the idea is to kick out the bad as much as you attract the good. And so the end result is that more people show interest in our stuff, we make more money, we improve our brand all at the same time. And now finally, that we have these things, we know what a lead is, we know how to solve it, we know how to engage them to get engaged leads, which is the true output of advertising. Now we'll talk about advertising. The Core Four. This was the big breakthrough that I had with this book, and I'm really excited to share about it with you. Finally, for 2 years, I've not talked about this, so finally I can show you this stuff. All right? And so there are only 4 ways one person can tell other people about anything. And that comes from the fact that there are 2 types of audiences and 2 types of communication. And those create, 2 by 2, the Core Four. So let's dive into this. You have people who know you, which are warm audiences, and you have people who don't know you, which are other people's audiences, right? Strangers. All right? And so warm are people who gave you permission to contact them. Friends, family, followers, current, past customers, contacts, anyone who knows who you are. Now, little differentiation here I just want to point out is that they need to know you to be warm. You don't necessarily need to know them. And the larger you get, the more you advertise, the more people will know you without you necessarily knowing them. All right? And so I just want to be very clear here, is it doesn't have to be bidirectional, it has to be unidirectional. They have to know you. Now, in the beginning, the easiest way to find people who know you is people you also know too. All right? Now, on the second level here, you've got cold. And the clearest definition I give you is people who did not give you permission to contact them, AKA strangers. These are other people's audiences, lists, or eyeballs, earballs that belong to platforms, right? So if you advertise on Facebook, like those people know Facebook, they don't know you, and so they haven't given you permission to contact them, but they've given Facebook permission. So you use Facebook as a proxy to contact them through, and then if they decide to engage with you and opt in, then they become a lead for you, all right? Then they become warm over time. So those are the 2 types of audiences, people who know you, people who don't. Boop. And so then you have the 2 types of communication. This was a huge breakthrough for me, like to understand the simplicity of this, because once you understand the only 4 ways you can let people know about your stuff, then that means that these are the only 4 things you do to advertise your business. And it makes why you're not getting as many leads very simple to solve. Not easy, but simple to know what to do next. All right? So on the one hand, you've got one-to-one communication. This is private communication. On the other hand, you've got one-to-many communication. In other words, public communication. And to clarify a term that gets confused all the time in the advertising and marketing world is what's the difference between outbound and inbound? All right? So here's the clearest definition I can give you of outbound. Outbound is where the first contact with the prospect happens in a private environment. A voicemail, think emails, think a private communication, think a text message. These are all one-to-one environments. If I text my friend, no one else sees that text. If I email somebody, no one else sees that email. If I do a voicemail, no one else sees that. It's private, it's one-to-one. All right? That is outbound. Now, most inbound, the flip side of that, which is where you contact someone publicly, eventually becomes one-on-one communication. So if I run an ad or I do a billboard and then they call me, it doesn't make them outbound. But delineating between the 2 is important because it tells you what you need to do to let them know about your stuff, which is advertising, all right? So billboard, podcasts, posts, ads, anything that you do to make content, all of those things are one-to-many. And I want to add a quick note to this because people get confused about this one. If you send an email blast to your list, that is still one-to-one communication. Technically, it's done really fast with automation by a computer. And so that's where this starts to get confusing for people. They're like, wait, if I cold email, is that inbound? It's like, no, it's still outbound. Even if you send a blast to a list, it's still outbound, okay? It's just really, really fast. And that's where automation can confuse these things. And we'll get to how to use automation to scale the shit out of your advertising later on in the training. So if we know what the 2 audiences are, people who know you, people who don't, and we know the 2 types of communication, private communication, public communication, which is one-to-one and one-to-many, all right? That leads us to the Core Four. And this is like, if there was a value equation in this book, this is it, all right? And so these are the only ways that you can advertise. One-to-one to people who know you is warm outreach. One-to-one to people who don't know you is cold outreach. One-to-many to people who know you is when you post content. One-to-many to people who don't know you is when you run paid ads. Those are the 4 ways, the only 4 ways that a person on their own, and I'll show you other ways later, but one person on their own can let other people know about their stuff. Now, I'm going to show you how to leverage this to unlock massive scale using other people in the second half of the training. But you have to know the fundamentals of advertising in order to unlock the advanced version of advertising. This is the way. That is the Core Four. And now we're going to dive into each of them individually so I can show you the actual execution the same way I did with engaging to make a lead magnet. I'm going to show you step by step how to create this within your business, that advertising method, to get you more leads. So now that we know what the Core Four is, now we go to warm outreach, which is the first of the Core Four, which is people who know you, reaching out to them one-on-one. And I will build linearly from simplest to most complex in this training so that if you are starting out, this is where I'd recommend you begin because this is the easiest way. And I'll tell you a quick story about how I started using this and how I've used it since then. My first time I ever did warm outreach. This was also the first business I ever started. And so I was actually filing my MBA application to go to, a fancy school. And one of the questions was, how will Harvard degree help your short and long-term business goals? And I thought about it for like 3 days. And I realized that it wasn't actually going to help my long-term business goals because I wanted to start a business. And I figured if I took 2 years and didn't make money, that's like probably 120, 140 grand of money I wasn't making because I was going to school. And then I have to pay another 120, 150 grand to go there. I'm like, man, I'm like 300 grand in the hole by going to school and 2 years. And I was like, and the average starting salary coming out of business school at the time was 120,000 a year. And I was like, man, so I could take that $300,000 in 2 years, and if I can get to at least $10,000 a month in income, I will have passed what I would have done with the education, and hopefully that will be my business degree. And that was the reasoning I had because for me, I wanted to start a business. I thought maybe that's the best way to learn about business is to start one. And so that's what I decided to do. So that application actually drove me to start Impetus Group, which if you hear me say it out loud is ridiculous because the first time I told someone I was like, I started my LLC, it's called Impetus Group. They were like, Impotence? And I was like, fuck. I was like, that's why it was available. And so I quickly changed it to the Free Training Project. And so what that was I asked people to train them in exchange for them donating $500 to $1,000 to the charity of their choice. All right, and if they didn't have one, I had one that I recommended. And so it was a way that I could get people to try my stuff for free, but like free for me in terms, but they had to have some skin in the game. Now, I could have just done it for free, and that would have worked too. This is just how I chose to do it. You can do whatever you want. And so what I did was I said, hey, I'm doing this thing. That was my offer. I'm helping people transform for 12 weeks. I'll do all their nutrition, all their training, all their grocery list, everything to help them transform, and I'll do it online. And I said, do you know anybody who'd be interested? and I messaged everybody in my contact list. And I messaged everyone I knew across all my platforms and all my cell phone contacts, and I got 6 people who said, yeah, I'd be down. And so I got 6 people, and I actually still have their before and after pictures, so they're all right there. I think I maybe got extraordinarily lucky, or they also knew that this was like really important to me, and these were all people who knew me. So they tried really hard because they knew it mattered to me. And I told them, I was like, I need these, so I want to start a fitness business, so like really try. Like I'll give you everything, but like, and I give them my cell phone number, and I talked to them whenever they needed me, like I was just there. And to be really clear, this business only required an LLC, a bank account, and a cell phone. And that was how I started this business. I would text them the thing, and they would text it back to me. And that was it, all right? And so the key point here is that I work for free, and then later, over time, I said, hey, do you know anybody else who'd be interested in this? And then they started referring me business. And at that point, I said, after the 12 weeks, I said, would you guys mind paying me? Because I'm actually going to start doing this full time rather than my consulting job. And crazy enough, people were like, oh, I don't mind. And just like that, everyone converted over, and I was making about $4,000 a month from home. And I replaced my consulting income. And all I had was an LLC, a bank account, a way to process money. And the fourth one, a way to communicate, my phone and email, was the most important because that's how I was able to make
LLC, a bank account.
money and reach people. That's how I advertised. I didn't even know it yet. I was using the first of the core 4, and I still use it today, but that was the first time I ever did it. And so if you're starting out, it might be the most profitable and easiest way to get going. So that is warm outreach and my experience with it. So here's how it works. And again, we're going to build this soup to nuts for you, this system. So if you're starting your first business, memorize this training. Like actually don't memorize this training, do this training, and then go make money, and then you can move on to the next one, all right? Just consider them like graduation levels. Now, and fundamentally, you can do any of the ways to advertise immediately. Like if you have the skill set and you have the money, you can do any of the other ones too. This is, again, my story and how I did it. So warm outreach is one-on-one to people who know you, right? It is the cheapest, most reliable way to find new customers, right? Cheap and reliable, good combo, right? And you can do it without being icky. And I'm going to show you how to do it without being a scumbag, all right? So the reason MLMs and some of these things have really bad names is because they don't teach people how to be human beings and not be weirdos when they solicit people for business. And I'm going to show you how to do it and how I did it, okay? So the first step of this, all right, so step number 1 is that you get a list, all right? Now, you might say, but I don't have any leads. Everyone has a list. And so right now, if you pull up your phone and you look at all your contacts, those are leads. You look at your social media, you look at Instagram, you see how many people follow you. Maybe it's 200 people. Fine. They have people that you have means to contact. You look through every one of your past emails because you've changed them so many times. You look at all the contacts of the people that you have emailed over the years. Those are leads. And guess what? If you add all this together, most people have contacted 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people throughout their lives across the platforms that they exist on. And if right now you have no contacts in your phone, on Facebook, and you don't do social media, welcome to planet Earth. It's a great place. We'd love to have you. And if you want to get customers, you have to go where the fish are. And you have to find out where they're paying attention and put yourself there. So at the very least, you should know someone because everybody knows someone because you were born. All right, so everybody knows somebody. And so you take that list, and that is step 1. You get your list. And so there's your proof. Grab your phone, all your email accounts, social media follows, put the names on a sheet. Put the names on a sheet, and you're like, wow, that sounds like work, Alex. Welcome to business. All right? Then add up the numbers on the sheet. You actually don't need to add it up. Excel adds it up for you. All right? And then figure out the number. That number is your starting list of how many leads you have. This is exactly what I did when I started a different business 10 years after this. When I started getting our software company,
All right, I'll add them up. Roy. And then 1, 2, 3, and then Dad. So let me add up my leads. Many of these aren't going to be real leads though, let's be real. But I can almost say to them,
I made a list of every single person that I thought might be interested in this thing from every contact source I had. And that's how I started that business. And I'll tell you that because there's a more advanced strategy I'll show you in the second half of the training, but it still started with this core strategy of understanding warm outreach. And if I hadn't had that experience, I wouldn't have been able to do what I did later. So once you have your list, you pick a platform, okay? Now, there's lots of different platforms. YouTube Shorts, YouTube, email, LinkedIn, TikTok, Amazon's even a platform now, Instagram Reels, Instagram posts, Twitter, podcasts, there's a million of them. And guess what? In the future, maybe all these symbols will change. But the fact that people will pay attention to stuff will not. And the places where people pay attention to stuff, you will be able to advertise. So then you pick a platform. If you're like, well, which one do I pick? Pick the one you got the most contacts on. And start there, because either way, you're going to move through them all. Think about this. If you have a contact on email and you only have them on email, then you're going to start there. If you have them in 2 places, you can contact them in 2 places. In some ways, it's almost like 2 leads. As an aside, it's the same thing where people have preferences of consumption. People also have preferences for communication. Like, I don't like doing phone calls, but I'm a decent texter. I also don't really like messaging platforms much either. So like, if somebody emails me and somebody texts me and it's the same person, likely to respond to that text is significantly higher. So don't feel weird about using multiple means of communication to get a lead to respond, all right? So you're like, okay, I have my list, I pick my platform, well, what do I say? So here's what you do. You look for 30 seconds to see what's new in that person's life. You look at their social media, you look at their business, you look anywhere you can find stuff.
We're taking Zach to his exam and then going into town for the afternoon. Are you back for tea?
Yeah.
Right, okay, there'll be some sausages that you can cook.
So you have an exam on Liberation Day?
Well, in the UK, Liberation Day isn't a thing. So that's why. Okie dokie. Oh, Mr. Beardy. You need to use your beard trimmer and book a hair appointment.
Awesome. Just leaves my door open. Zero views. I'm happy about it. Having a breakfast. Good breakfast. I wake up at 8, 9? No, I wake up at 9.
before. Microwave and microwave just go in like parts of a pack of time in work.
What's this?
Is that Manny's? It's a microphone, I think.
All right. This blue one here, is that, how clean is that?
Well, I'm a bit confused with these because one of them is mine, but I'm not even sure which one it is. I mean, I used this one this morning. That could probably do with a wash. I haven't got a clue. Somebody pulled another brown one out, but it wasn't me. So I'm a bit confused on that front. Is this yours? This?
Yeah.
It's on the top of the stairs.
I left it there.
I tend to put the clean ones on the left.
No, it's been out for ages, that one.
Yeah, but somebody's taken the bath towel that I've just washed and I couldn't, it's now been mixed up with a dirty one, so I don't know which is clean.
No, I'm confused.
Right, well I'll wash these and then it'll be okay.